Hello and welcome back to Tales from the Age of Men. Now, I've actually moved on to Saragost here. So the main reason why I've actually moved here is because this is, I think, the deepest possible territory we could reach in Mordor. And, of course, I'd like to try to maybe stake a claim to a town. I think that might be a pretty nice idea. Now, if I could just manage to get Denethor to not give me castles, because you could see here he's actually decided to give me another castle yet again. I don't have enough influence to really do anything about that, unfortunately. I can't say, oh no, please don't give me this. No, he's going to consistently give me that, which is a little bit frustrating, to be honest. Anyway, we did level up, as you can see right here, and I'm almost doing pretty well in terms of athletic skill. We're almost at 175, and then hopefully after that, we will be able to get to 200 as well. So we're going to spec into roguery here. I already have 7 in intelligence, so I don't need to level up medicine any further, which is actually pretty nice. And I think as a result of that, we're probably going to be doing some points in social here. And I think that's probably it. I think that's probably all I can really do. Social is not exactly going to be that useful, but I think it's going to be okay. Now, we are being attacked by Xorberax here. Now, obviously, you know, we've had our fair share of attacks by Uruks, Orcs, and so on. And I think that Xorberax, I'm not entirely sure what he's even doing here, to be honest, because it feels to me like he is doing this purely because he thought that the garrison would be coming. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, this is very nice. Okay, yeah, I thought that. Yeah. He thought that the garrison was going to come in. Now, this is one of the base game maps that I absolutely love. This is just fantastic. Anytime we get the ability to utilize our archers in a more effective fashion, I'm always really very much on board with that. Any single time we get that opportunity, oh yeah, it's just great. Because now what we can do is we can literally just put our infantry around about here. And I think he's probably going to play extremely passively. I think that's probably what's going to happen here. Not sure if it's actually... Is he going to... No, he's actually... Okay, he is actually coming over here. Alright, I'm actually very surprised. Yeah, I thought he was going to stay there. I thought he was going to be extremely passive and just play defensively. But this is going to be exceptionally good for us. And what we're going to do is we're going to place our infantry around about here. We're going to put them into, I think, a square formation. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, we want to try to maximize our defensiveness against the cavalry that could potentially come in from the right side. So I want to be a bit careful on that. And as you can see, our archers will just absolutely destroy. Let's try to get our cavalry down here as well, just in case. Pretty sure we're going to need them in some cases. Maybe... Should I just tell them to charge now? Yeah, let's just tell them to charge now and we'll see what we can do with that. Hopefully it's going to help out a little bit. I mean, my archers are very good. We do have those Blackroot Veil guys. They are exceptional. And I'm not entirely sure if we want to... I'm not entirely sure why they're charging ahead like that. Ugh. Yeah, it's a little bit irritating when the cavalry decides to do things like that, because you don't necessarily want them to charge into the deeper area of enemies. You kind of want them to stay a little bit back and actually help out the infantry somewhat. But yeah, they seem a little bit weird in that regard. Anyway, let's just take out my nice one-handed here. Try to do some damage with this. Actually, not even entirely bad. Pretty decent right now. Pretty decent. Getting some decent kills. Not too bad. And the amount of experience gain we can get is alright. I mean, it's not going to be exceptional, of course, because... Oh, actually, wait a minute. Maybe it is actually pretty good. Oh, well, maybe it's because we're so low, you know. We are so incredibly low with our one-handed skill that it's just a no-brainer that we are going to have this happen. And as you can see, we have just completely and utterly destroyed them. We lost 3 people. I'm actually really surprised we lost anyone, to be honest, but I guess that is to be expected. I think most of them that we lost were indeed infantry. Yeah, one was a cavalry person as well. Let's just tell everyone to charge in here. We're telling absolutely everyone to charge in, by the way, not just the infantry and the cavalry. We're telling the archers as well. And maybe I can do something. Ooh, okay, yeah, let's be a little bit careful with that. These guys obviously have pole arms, and they do have the ability to completely murder us if we let them. Oh, we're doing some nice damage, but unfortunately they have good HP. They have very, very good HP. Even if I hit them for 113 damage, they are apparently still managing to survive, which is indeed a bit of a problem. Especially when you're trying to get as much experience as possible before the battle ends. But yeah, I think that's probably going to be it. There we go. That is game over for Mr. Gorebag. And we managed to get 41 renown and 64 influence. It's actually a little bit, you know, I gotta say, it's a little bit disappointing that we didn't join as vassal a little bit earlier. I feel like we should have thrown our hat in the ring a little bit quicker there, because you know, despite the fact that being a mercenary was really, really effective at growing our balance and actually being able to, you know, fundamentally shift every single bit of gear that we have for our companions, for example, as well as ourselves, you know, we absolutely destroyed the marketplace. Because if you remember, we actually spent, I think it was like, what, 500,000? Was it 500,000? I think something like that. Because obviously we had a huge amount of loot to swap around as well. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be taking the prisoners here. Probably not going to be taking the troops either, because these guys are just bandits. We have 15 spaces, however. Maybe it's a good idea to do that, but for me personally, I'm not really interested in it. We're also getting 12,000 experience, you know, because there's a lot of loot here, and I do have so much stuff in my inventory right now. Thanks to roguery skill most of the time, but obviously, you know, thanks to the volume of vassals that we're currently fighting. So yeah, we'll see how we do here. And this is Saragost, obviously. I remember Saragost very, very vividly from the Shadow of War games, or at the very least, shall we say, the Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor. It's more like Shadow of War, I think. I'm not entirely sure if Shadow of Mordor even went to Saragost at any point, but yeah. Anyway, the point is, we are going to be besieging this in just a moment. Hopefully my trebuchets are going to survive, and we'll be able to then go in with minimal resistance, because obviously the catapults are eliminated here, and indeed they don't have that much food at all. And hopefully the... Oh, did we... Wait a minute. Where's the garrison? Where did the garrison go? Did we actually already eliminate the garrison? I'm actually super surprised. Alright, I'm just going to leave my trebuchets up. Generally, I feel like leaving my trebuchets up has increased our ability to win. I'm not entirely sure why that would be. I mean, generally it shouldn't, you know, having people on our trebuchets, or generally having them go on them. I actually don't know whether they even go on them at this point, because there are no enemy siege emplacements, so maybe it's not actually even necessary. Oh, hello there, sir. Oh, okay, well that was hilarious. That was absolutely hilarious. What a classic moment right there. I was like, oh yes, I will kill this guy. I will kill him very, very easily. And then, in actual fact, no, I did not. That's very amusing. All right, let's place my people behind here. Just gonna make sure that they go this way. Gonna put them into a square. And hopefully... Oh, are they going to push back? Are they actually pushing back against us right now? If they do push back against us, then that may, in fact, might be a good idea to go like this. We are being shot. Okay, here we go, yes. Yeah, this is not exactly good. We might want to go somewhere else. Actually, wait. My archers are doing a great job right now. Okay, well, at least that's good, right? At least that's good. Okay, so we'll just go around here and we'll see what the situation is like this. This is... Wow, wow, okay, there's literally no one here. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna tell them to hold position over here. Hopefully they'll go that way. They might. Okay, I've got to get out of here. I have a bad feeling about being here, to be honest. Okay, so hopefully my forces... Are they going to come around? I'm actually not entirely sure. A lot of archers. Yeah, they are actually coming around. That's perfect. Unfortunately, the infantry do seem to be a little bit weird about things. I'm not sure if they're going to really be doing anything to... Ah, yes, these fellas are now switching their defensive position. That is very interesting. Usually they don't do this, which is quite funny. But, okay. My archers have literally... Okay. That is very funny. My archers literally just entering and being like, "Hello, we're archers. We're standing in the courtyard." It's very, very amusing. Let's tell the infantry to charge in here. I need to make sure that they engage the opponent before my archers get beset upon. I'm going to have to do some pretty big damage here, because otherwise the archers are just going to get completely massacred. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that seems... Wow, okay. Took massive damage right there. That was not exactly planned. I kind of hope that... I mean, look at the archers right now. My archers are in a perfect position to actually do damage to the enemy because their shields are facing away from them. So, theoretically, my archers should be getting insane amounts of kills right now. And are they? I think so. To a degree, at least. I guess. We're losing a lot of people as well, which is actually staggeringly hilarious. It's one of those cases where, oh yes, you know, you have any kind of medicine skill? Well, too bad. We're going to make sure that you lose a whole bunch of very, very useful troops. Yeah, that's the usual thing that generally tends to happen whenever you have any kind of medicine skill whatsoever. But, you know, the funny thing is, if you had lower medicine skill, let's say you had, you know, I don't know, 50 or something. If you had 50 medicine skill, you'd probably end up taking the same amount of casualties. That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. I don't know why, but there always seems to be some weird, I don't know, weird, like, I don't know whether I'm being superstitious about that. I might be. I don't know. It's very, very, very likely that I am. But anyway, let's just open this up. And they're going to come over here. Yeah, as you can see, they're going to come over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get the archers to stand over here. Actually, I want the archers to stand on these stairs here. That would be absolutely fantastic if we can make that work. And let's make these infantry come over here. They're running? They're running away? Okay, that's kind of interesting. I'm not entirely sure why they would. Okay, that guy literally got murdered. Okay, now we have more people coming in through the center here. Actually, kind of weird. What are they doing right now? I guess we're just gonna set our people to go over there. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this, to be honest. Not a big fan of this. We are, kind of. Oh, hello. Now they're coming. Okay, not exactly intended. Okay, yeah, hopefully we don't die here. Yeah, there we go. Alright, yeah. Archer's doing a pretty reasonable job. If we keep... Okay, here we go. If we can do some damage and actually just get these guys out the way, and hopefully not die in the process. Yeah, there we go. Very nice. Then my archers will finally start firing. There we go. Okay, don't get killed. This is actually pretty dangerous. This is a very, very deadly formation we've got going on here. And the opponent has really nowhere to run, because where are they going to run to? They're running into our archers, and they run into our archers and then they just get shot, or they get killed by their melee attacks or something along those lines. It's actually really, really devastating. And this was completely 100% you know, strategized by me. You know, I obviously I meant to do this. This was not a mistake by any means. I'm obviously joking. I Really did not mean to do this, but you know, it's pretty cool when things like this tend to work out. And otherwise, I believe, there you go, we literally lost 4 people. We lost 4 people, which is amazing. That is very, very good. And I'm actually alive, surprisingly enough, as well. Usually that does not happen. And my forces are doing a great job of eliminating that. Did I literally just die from running down? Yes, I did. I literally died from running down the stairs. That is quite funny. I love that. Okay, yeah, well, doesn't really matter. We have achieved victory. As you saw there were zero troops on the field, so I had to retreat and then just auto-resolve it. And we can indeed take the prisoners. I think I will take the prisoners. Why not? Makes sense, right? Makes sense to me. And we can indeed take all of these. I could have gotten 26,000. Maybe it would have been a good idea to get 26,000 or something like that. Anyway, try to force settlement to join your culture. I don't actually... do I really want to do that? Join your culture, only possible to evil cultures and costs like... Try to force... I mean, we could. It costs like show mercy, which is obviously pretty fantastic. So let's try to do that. Culture change to Gondorian was successful. Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. There we go. People killed 0. There we go. Okay, that's actually really, really nice. So that basically means, and that means, oh yes, now we are able to recruit Gondorians from this town, and we can do that immediately, or we should be able to once the recruitment area is refreshed. So that is actually really strong. And look at this, I got 13 skill points from roguery thanks to our focus points right there. So that's really nice too. Okay, so first of all, let's just sell a bunch of grain here. I have loads and loads of food. I have 120, really 124 days. I have 124 days worth of food, which is actually kind of hilarious. We can actually sell quite a few things though. Get rid of all of that. Thank you very much. Okay, so we have loads of wargs as well. Are we actually having a herding problem right now? It feels to me like we should have a herding problem, but we don't. No, we don't have a herding problem. Okay, so do we have any saddles that we have to be worried about? I mean, we've got warg saddles, but that's pretty much it. They're not that heavy. So they're not that bad, and I guess we should just... Oh wow, they have no money. It's actually really, really sad, to be honest. Okay, yeah, we'll probably just do something like that, and then we'll just wait here for a little bit of time. And I wouldn't mind, yeah, I wouldn't mind getting this. No, of course. What's actually going on with that, by the way? What is actually going on with that? They are literally not even... They're not even hiding it anymore. Denethor really does not like us one bit, does he? Because he's not giving us any of these. Very, very surprising. But he has given us 2 fiefs that I really did not want, that are super, super far away from where we currently are, which is very strange. And you can see here, this is what we currently have going on here. And... Indeed, Kirith Ungol has just been taken as well, which is absolutely fantastic. Not entirely sure who took that, by the way. Let me actually just have a look. Oh, Rohan took that. That's quite funny. Obviously, we are completely dismantling Mordor right now. I mean, really. We should probably decide to go and attack one of these over here. And then we'll probably make our way into HARAD. I think that probably makes the most sense. I think that's probably going to be super, super fun for us. Let's actually see here. Yeah, no, I think we can probably do that. Let's actually just take a quick look, though. Yeah, we can... Oh, we can recruit Fountain Guards. We can recruit Fountain Guards from here? Are you serious? That's actually pretty crazy. Fountain Guards are very high level, so it would be wonderful if we could do that again. And this is actually a very, very nice place to recruit them because there are so few vassals in and around the area. So that's very, very nice. Two-faced is what I'm going to take, because that does allow us to sneak into things 50% easier. But obviously, just think about it. If we have a, 2% chance to sneak in, 50% of that, well, you can kind of tell it's not really going to do much, unfortunately. We did get Medicine 225, which is really, really nice too. And I am going to be getting Fortitude Tonic, because that does provide us with plus 5 HP. You could technically take Cheat Death as well, but in my opinion, this is really only very good if you're playing with a mod that increases the chances of your death. You've seen how many times I've died in this series so far, and a minus 50% chance to die when you fall unconscious in battle, as I just said right now in regards to the, you know, sneaking in bonus, a minus 50% chance. Imagine you have a 1% chance to die, and then you have a 0.5% chance to die, which is still, I guess, kind of fine and decent, but it just feels to me like, you know, the current percentage is low enough that you wouldn't really have to, you know, be super worried about it. Anyway, let's see. Let's go for core. There we go. And otherwise, I think we should probably move on, shouldn't we? Now they're giving us levymen. That's very strange. They gave us fountain guards before, but now they're giving us levies. Okay, well, let's move on. I think what we're going to do, let's see, how do I get round to HARAD? Around here, I guess. Is there a way through this mountain right here? I don't think so, right? No, I don't seem to see. Oh, wow, Denethor is literally going over there. Wow, that is actually really staggering. That is very, very strong indeed. Okay, yeah, I think, you know what? Let's finish up Mordor. We're going to finish up Mordor over here. I mean, I'm not going to take this, I don't think. I mean, this is extremely... Wait. This is extremely... I mean, there's no point, right? There's no point in me actually taking this because it's just going to be way too easy, right? It's going to be super, super fast and easy, so we don't really need to worry about that. But what about some of these? As you can see, this is actually very, very difficult. It's got 446 in the garrison, but very few, very little food. So that's going to be a problem for them. As you can see, loads of escaped slaves here as well, which I very much appreciate because, let's face it, we really... You know, if we were in a situation where I had just been defeated or something like that, being able to go into a battle against huge numbers of you know, bandits like this, that is going to be an exceptional way to recover from any kind of setback. Alright, so before we go into this siege here, we are going to be taking, probably, I don't know about public speaker, to be honest. I feel like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. Generally, I'm not really waiting around too much in settlements that I really care about that much. Even though this would be this would be very, very nice for stabilizing things. As I've said in the past, Parade is really, really good for that. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be sticking around that much, so we will be taking public speaker, you know, so we could try to get our clan tier leveled up quite nicely. So we are now here. This is where the Witch King is, by the way. So we're probably going to be, you know, encountering him in just a moment. Let's actually see what we can do here. I think we'll probably go... Oh, I don't know. Should we go this way? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Hello? Is there anyone here? Oh, there are a couple of people. Not many. Alright, let's... Oh, it's the same layout. Oh, okay. I think it is actually the same layout. Let's go for square once again. I think square seems to work really, really nicely here. And if I can just get a couple of nice little thrusts in here, we should be pretty good. Even if they block us or whatever, that's fine. As long as we do a little bit of damage here and there, that's all that really matters. As you can see, my forces are coming in now. Even if the archers do get into melee a little bit, that's okay too. Wow, there's a lot of people running that direction. Wow, 537 damage. Wow, okay. Certainly wasn't expecting anything like that. I don't even need that amount of damage. That's also the reason why I've said multiple times... Oh, there's the Witch King himself. He's running around there. He's going to be quite funny. Okay, so we might have an issue now. Let's move my infantry over here. My archers should be here, which is exactly where they are. Now what I'm going to do... I'm going to get off my mount. And we're actually going to do some damage this way. And I'm going to try to... Are they actually... Wait a minute. They're not... Wait. No. They're not immune... They're not, like... stopping themselves from firing for some reason. Okay. Not sure what's going on with that. Okay, now they're actually firing. Now they're actually bringing out their bows. This is a little bit problematic, actually, because generally we needed them to bring out their bows a little bit quicker here. I'm going to have to put them into a line. Even though generally I want them to stay in a square, but why are they charging? What are you doing right now? Oh no, are you serious? Okay, that's actually kind of, yeah, that's kind of harsh. We do not want them to do that. We do not want them to run into the opponent. I don't know what they're doing right here, but okay, I guess we just have to kind of roll with it. It's very strange because it was working extremely well in the previous siege, but okay. Apparently now they are deciding to be a little bit difficult. Getting some good experience here though, gotta say. Almost, yeah, we actually did get 175 in athletics, so that means that we can finally get our additional point in endurance, which now would then mean we can get riding skill maxed out, which is very nice. Let's tell our forces to charge in, actually. I feel like that's probably going to be useful. Yes. This is the kind of annoying thing that we... kind of annoying thing to deal with. Oh, hello. That's a lot of archers. Gonna try to do as much damage as possible here. Need the experience. Of course, they are going to be blocking quite a bit now, but that's okay. A little bit of experience here and there, never hurt anyone. It's always going to be nice. Wow. They're actually... Wow, okay. They're proving to be very weird in there. Okay. Why are they going in here? This is crazy. I don't know why they would decide to go in here, but alright. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, so there's still a huge amount of... Oh, wow. Yeah, there's still loads and loads of enemies to deal with here. The question is, what are the archers doing in there? Very strange. Let's get my archers over here. Why are they facing... Look at this. Why are they facing this direction? What is this? Face that direction. Why? I don't want them to retreat. Are you serious? Don't retreat, you absolute imbeciles. Okay. There we go. Face that direction. There we go. Okay. So face that direction. Hopefully they're going to be... yeah, they're going to just hit shields a huge amount of the time here now, which is unfortunate. I'm going in the back here to the archers. Yeah, this is not going to work, actually. I don't think. Is it? Highly unlikely, I'd say. Yeah. This is kind of problematic. I was kind of hoping we'd be able to come in here with very minimal resistance, but as you can see, it's a little bit too dangerous in my opinion. And I might actually get killed here if I'm not careful, so I should be a little bit more wary of this. Okay, yeah, you know what? Let's go back out. Now they... Oh, okay, I see. Oh. Of course. Okay, yes. I kind of expected that to happen for some reason. I don't know why, but I kind of had a feeling that those guys were going to move at that exact moment. But yeah, we're having a bad time this time. Yes, as you can see. Absolutely terrible. Probably... not entirely sure how many forces they even have in the garrison here. We have to be very, very careful. I cannot let this run for a little bit too long. We don't want that. But I think we should be okay. Yeah, we're doing absolutely fine now. We are losing a load of our longbowmen. You can see here, they actually got 126 kills. I'm actually surprised about that because we didn't even put them in a good position this time. It was much, much better last time. I'm actually kind of surprised. I don't know why the square formation didn't work this time with the archers, because beforehand they were able to stand here and absolutely just destroy opponents very, very easily. As you can see, we have one enemy remaining. I'm not entirely sure where he is. He's in the gate. And my forces are having a hard time dealing with that. As you can see, this fellow does not want to open this up. And there we have it. Okay, so I actually had to retreat, not for the reasons of us being defeated or anything like that, but just because this is generally what tends to happen sometimes. and you're going to need to retreat when there's 1 or 0 people remaining. And indeed, that's exactly what I did. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, this is another town, so I should be able to capture this. And then we can... Do I want to take the loot? Do I want to take the loot? You know what? I'm actually not going to take the loot this time. Because I feel like... I don't know. I feel like it's not really going to do much. I feel like we have a lot of loot as it is right now. Let's just try to force them to join us. Or should we say force them to join our culture. And it was actually successful. Very, very nice. And... 54,000, actually pretty nice. Yeah, not a bad amount of cash right here. As you can see, we basically already bankrupted them that fast, and we can already do this as well. There we go, very nice. Look at that, 61,000, 12 skill points in roguery. Obviously, funnily enough, if we had even more points in roguery, it would be even better. But obviously, as it is, we don't. And as I said to you before, we now have 175 in athletics, which is fantastic. So what we can actually do is, once the saving is done, we can now level up our endurance attribute, which is going to be fantastic, because now that finally gets us that extra point in riding skill, or will actually eventually get us that extra point in riding skill. And you can see here we now have 175 learning rate. Absolutely perfect. Okay, so we're just going to be waiting here for a little bit of time. And yeah, I'm going to show you the map after this, because I believe that Rohan and Gondor, they're actually starting to do a bunch of extra things. Ah, look at that. Mordor is actually starting to fight back a little bit. I'm actually quite surprised about that. Bar Malui. What? Bar Malui was actually taken? Okay, that's very strange. Not entirely sure how that happened. Ah, yeah, so as you can see, there is a rebellion going on here, obviously, as you might expect. Ah, look at this. Rohan is actually attempting to eliminate Rune now. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Ah, Bar Malui was literally just a rebellion. So Mordor wasn't actually even doing anything here. And you can see we have an army of 279 over there. We have Denethor's army with 1,300. And he has actually moved on to HARAD territory, which is very surprising. I actually would have expected him to come over here and actually deal with the remaining forces of Mordor, but obviously it feels to me like they, I don't know, sometimes they do that, sometimes they don't, but I don't really blame them, I guess, even though I personally believe it would be slightly better, slightly easier for everyone involved if they would do that, because then we could just eliminate all of Mordor and focus on Harad instead. But that's okay, we don't have to worry about it. Okay, so we have some militiamen here, fountain guards, and so on and so forth. Guess I will recruit some of them, because we're actually starting to lose numbers here. And you know what? I'm going to wait here for a little bit of time, and then we're going to move on to Harad territory. Alright, so it's been a little bit of time, and we're now actually in HARAD territory. So I haven't actually been fighting anything at all. I've just been voting on various things in the kingdom, just to try to increase our relations somewhat, because I feel like the one time we decided to do a little bit of an execution, that kind of ruined a lot of our relations with a lot of people. And as a result, it has now caused us to fall behind a little bit in regards to being everyone's favorite, as it were. So it does make things a little bit uncomfortable when we go into those votes, because we're not ever really going to be the front runner for any of that stuff. So it does make a big difference. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to go to a square formation here. We're going to put these guys into a loose formation, and we are literally just going to stick around, probably around here. And we're going to see how this goes, because I'm not entirely sure what these guys actually have. I don't actually remember what these guys are really good at. I don't think I've even looked at their people. Oh, wait a minute, it's horse archers. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? Yes, that makes sense. Because Rune is kind of horse archery, and these guys are kind of horse archery. I'm not entirely sure what's even happening with me right now. For some reason, I'm not actually hitting anyone. Kind of interesting. Okay, we've taken 2 people off their mount. Doesn't really help us that much. I'm getting completely stun locked by our forces right now, and if I die here, I might even have to retreat. that would be exceptionally bad. No, I think we're okay. I think we're okay. Okay, so let's just move these guys around about here. Let's put these guys into a shield wall formation as well. Square is obviously very, very good in my opinion. However, it is going to be a little bit less, shall we say, a little bit less coverage. That is the enemy vassal, the one leading the army, I believe. So it would be pretty fantastic if we could eliminate her, but I somehow doubt that's going to happen. We have a lot of very, very good archers, so I'm very much hoping that they're going to end up charging us. It seems like they are, to a certain degree. Wow, okay, that was actually some pretty significant damage right there. And we did get 275 in riding skill now as well, which is wonderful. Let's just slowly move to them, right? Let's just slowly move to them and see if we can maybe do a little bit of something like that. Oh yeah, they're very, very... She's very good at blocking our attack, unfortunately. A lot of the other forces don't seem particularly active when it comes to blocking, but she's very much on the ball. Wow, okay, very interesting. They're literally camping the side of the battlefield. That's very, very weird. Usually I'd say, yeah, that's probably not going to happen, right? Usually I'd say, oh yeah, that's kind of strange, because they are the ones that were aggressive to us. I was not the one to actually attack them, which is, again, kind of strange too, because usually enemies don't really want to fight us that much unless they have a significant advantage, and these people clearly don't believe they have the advantage, because otherwise they'd be charging us, right? Or at least that's the idea. So let's see what happens. Let's just continue to move our infantry forward. And there's the death. Okay. Yeah, it was bound to happen at some point, right? It was bound to happen at some point. I think we probably have this in the bag as long as our forces continue to do exactly what they're doing right now, which is just have the archers go back, have the infantry, well, I'm assuming they're charging in the infantry right now, and charging in the cavalry too. I think that should be fine. We should have a pretty easy time of achieving victory here. Yeah, as you can see, we are completely and utterly dominating them right now. And that's generally that's generally what tends to happen, you know? That's generally what tends to happen. As long, I mean, look, we would have lost a lot less if I was alive, but unfortunately, because they were horse archers, they just had some really, really nice snipes on us, and they got some good damage out really, really easily. It's okay though. It's fine, you know? It's okay, because we now have the opportunity to take basically every single one of them prisoner. We can indeed get a Gondor swordsman and a bowman, even though they're not going to be particularly amazing, are they? And otherwise, we're just going to level these fellows up. What do we want? What do we want? Yeah, these fellows are going to be absolutely terrible, aren't they? They are pretty terrible, yeah. So we are going to go for footmen. There we go. And we're not going to take any prisoners, obviously, because I do want to continue being able to move around really, really quickly and so on. 13,000 experience, we're definitely going to be taking that. Thank you very much. And then we're going to see exactly what we can do here, because these fellows did actually stop me from doing a siege. I was attempting to besiege the nearby town, because I thought to myself, yes, this sounds like a really nice idea. But yeah, they decided to basically, well, interfere in our plans. And oh wow, we literally, what? We only got 3 level ups from that? That is actually kind of bad. Oh well, never mind. We did finally get our riding skill to 275, which is wonderful. We can get another point in roguery here, and this is what I was actually attempting to take. So now we've seen HARAD in action. I'm kind of interested to see what happens here, because these fellows, are they actually going to decide to stick around in the garrison itself? Are they actually going to stay there, or are they going to try to attack us? That's the question. The anchors are invisible, unfortunately, so I won't be able to really see them that easily, but it's okay. I kind of know where most of these things are randomly, just just because they're literally usually in a line around here. But obviously, if the sprite on the map is a little bit different from a default one, then obviously it's going to be more difficult for us to know exactly where they are. Anyway, this is hopefully, yes, it's not too bad, not too bad. I mean, look at these guys right here. Look at that. This guy's running around with 1,500 troops. 1,500 troops. I mean, really, that's actually, that's some pretty crazy stuff there. Hopefully he's going to be, I mean, he is going to be completely fine. With 1,500, I think you're going to be okay. I did attempt, by the way, to try and call my party to my side. Unfortunately, he's actually a part of another army, so I won't be able to get him to assist us in this endeavor here. But yeah, maybe at some point he'll get disbanded or something like that. But yeah, Gondor and Rohan are actually working together so extremely well. I'm actually questioning whether they are even running with Bannerlord's AI. I feel like I feel like they're doing too good in this situation. It's very surprising to me that they're playing so well in cooperation with each other, because usually that's not the case. Usually, as you know, the AI tends to be a bit weird, but in this mod, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they've done anything to the AI. I'm not entirely sure if they've made them, specifically do something in particular that makes them slightly more effective or whatever. But all I know is that Gondor and oh, that's the reason why the anchors are a bit weird, is because they're floating. Oh yeah, I couldn't tell that from this distance. That's actually quite funny. Anyway, point is, Gondor and Rohan are working together extremely well, and that is actually the entire reason why we have even gotten this far in our campaign. It's actually staggering how much of a difference it makes for the AI that you're working with to actually be good in comparison to how it is normally in the base game specifically, where sometimes, okay, I'm not going to say that they don't do this 100% of the time, because they do sometimes, not often, but sometimes they do try to come and assist you, and they do actually take actions without you sometimes. Again, it's not a frequent occurrence, but despite me wanting it to be a frequent occurrence, it certainly isn't. Anyway, we can now make our way in here. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get as many kills as possible here. So I think I might try for a bunch of polearm kills. Not sure if that's really going to work. I was actually trying to see if I could maybe get a slashing polearm, but I think slashing polearms are only available in Elven territory. That seems to be the case at the very least. So let's just see what happens. I want to get to 200 athletics so that I can finally level up my vigor and get a little bit more. Well, the archers are literally focusing me down right now, which is actually quite funny. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to retreat. I'm actually going to retreat from this, and we're going to go back in once we've restored ourselves. I am so confident in the fact that we are going to be okay here that I'm literally just going to do this. I'm going to do it like so. Once we get our medicine skill back up, I mean, look at my healing rate right now. My healing rate right now is actually pretty decent. Obviously, it is going to be a lot quicker once we get to about 20%. Is it going to be? No, apparently it's not going to be quicker. Okay, that's kind of interesting. And now, oh no, Denethor. Denethor is coming, and he is going to force us into the attack. Well, that is obviously not what I really wanted to have happen. I would have liked to have gone in when I had about 50% HP. I guess we're just going to have to do this maybe the old-fashioned way, try to be, well, kind of weird about this. I mean, look at this. There's even a catapult. He even allowed a catapult to be built and then decided to go in. He is a terrible leader. No offense. He's not done a particularly good job here. So, yeah. I guess I'm just going to keep my shield out for the moment. Oh, yeah, these are all archers. Are you guys actually going to go in here or no? Okay, yeah, this guy is literally coming here by himself. Is he? Are they stuck? Wait a minute. They're not stuck, right? Gonna tell them to charge? No, they're not stuck, as you can clearly see. Okay. Let's be a little bit careful here. I do want to get a lot of kills here. I only need 7 points in athletics, right? I only need 7 points, so it shouldn't be impossible. Or it apparently is. It apparently is. It's never going to happen, unfortunately. Never going to happen. Not in this siege. The enemy just did not allow us any kind of respite, and also our allies didn't allow us any respite, because they literally just went straight on in without even bothering to wait for our HP, because of course that's what they do. That's what they do. You know, we've gotten the walls down, the garrison is completely starved out, we did all the hard work. We literally did all the hard work. Denethor did nothing. That's a classic. And, well, yeah, now we have that situation where we basically have no ability to go in and actually get athletic skill, which is really, really sad, because we would have easily been able to make it. I don't know whether you noticed, but in the first couple of kills that we got with the polearm, we were very, very easily able to make a lot of skill points. We were going to get a lot of skill points there. Would have been very, very simple, but you know, that's how it is. You know, that's how it is sometimes. Sometimes you are going to get absolutely slaughtered just because the enemy archers decide to focus you down. And they do tend to do that quite often to the player character. The player character is usually the thing that they will try to focus on more than anyone else, which is, I guess, a smart move. But generally for me, I'm not a big fan of that kind of gameplay. Usually I prefer... I don't know, I prefer the opponent to be a little bit fairer in their target acquisition, but it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, does it? No, it doesn't really matter too much. Okay, so let's actually take a quick look and see what's happening here, because I haven't really been looking at the map right now. Okay, we got this. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, oh, whoa. What's happening here? Look at this. Okay, yeah, they are absolutely destroying Rune right now. I'm quite surprised that the dwarves and Dale haven't really done anything. They're kind of self-contained here in their territory. It seems to me like they don't generally tend to go anywhere specific. I'm kind of surprised about that, because I would have expected, considering they have such a large contingent of towns and things like that, I would have thought that they would have gone immediately to Rune, or at the very least to Mount Gundabad, which of course they're not doing. It's very surprising. Very, very surprising to me. But yeah, as you can see, we've now entered HARAD territory, and that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.